right now, you've spent nearly a week here, and we've had teaching, and we've had outreach, but what lessons have you learned about prayer? Maybe we could start there and go right across. Just a short brief, what lessons have you learned about prayer?
Well, prayer is a powerful thing, and you can use it to your advantage, and it's a great ministry tool that we try to employ when we go into the prayer room at the drop-in at Cross Point. Just pray for people, whether it be the teenagers, whether it be our group. It really strengthens and emboldens us to say what we need to say, and whether God can use us in His words through our mouths. And prayer helps that and enables that. And I've learned that basically you can do just about anything with prayer.
Good. Well, what about you, John?
Like Matt said, it's one of the things that kind of gets us through on our trip. At home, it's easy to go through the day and get to the end of the day and realize you haven't prayed once. But here, we pray before every meal. We pray about the teens. We have their names up on the board. And then at night at the drop-ins, we have someone in the prayer room praying the whole time, just that we're there. And you can see an amazing difference in the attitudes and the way the trip goes when it's bathed in prayer.
So what you're saying, you have a team doing evangelism and you have a team praying.
Mm-hmm.
Good, that's good. Well, what about you?
I would have to say that it is very distracting in our lives that we go through in America, that we don't take enough time for prayer, and here it's so needed, and it's our way, it's a straight path to God, and just it opens up everything for us, and it's our only way to actually feel comfortable in knowing what's happening around us and to feel confident about it. And I have to be honest, I didn't really pray that much before 2 years ago coming here, and so and even out loud and publicly praying, I didn't have much experience with that until I came to Ireland and on this trip, and had to really ask God for confidence in that, and that's where I've gotten the confidence, is through prayer and asking Him for confidence and comfort in this time here.
Any special answers to prayer while you've been here this week?
Yes, confidence. I've asked God for confidence to just and leadership. I didn't know. I don't feel I'm a leader at home, but here I feel like God has given me that characteristic, and it's definitely been an answer from God, because I don't think that I would be able to just go out and lead, and I do feel like I can do that here, and to the teams, to the group, and the team that we've traveled with, I feel like He's definitely giving me that confidence and leadership.
Well, Millie, you've been here a number of times. Tell us a little bit, some definite answer to prayer that you've had this week.
Okay, one thing to always know is that nothing is impossible without God, and one way that's evident is through prayer. Being in prayer constant for the youth here, for the kids at the kids club, but also for our team, growing spiritually amongst ourselves, being one of the older ones. My prayer this week has been just that God would use our team in a way that would not only open up the lives of the youth, but also to open up our lives. Just being older, I've realized what this has done to me over the 4 years, and so I want those experiences and even more experiences for them, and to realize the importance of praying while you're here for the teens by name. I feel like that's so important, because I've seen it where this week at different times, beginning of the week, I pray for a certain kid or a certain teen just to open up to us, because God's always there pushing at their heart, and just to open up to us, and I've seen that happen. Especially yesterday, we had an awesome night last night with our at our drop-in with our guys and girls. We had a good about 30 to 40 minute discussion with them separated, and that's never happened in my 4 years. And we just saw God at work through it, and they are so receptive of praying with us now. I remember my first year coming, when we led a prayer, you kind of wanted your prayer to be short and sweet, just because they were going to talk during it, your phones were going to go off. But this year, they were silent and they were attentive as well and being involved in the prayer. And so I think they're seeing it evident in our lives as well of how we're praying to God and questioning themselves if they have that relationship with God.
Lovely. Well, you are the leader on this team. I am sure you have learned a lot about prayer.
I have. And for me personally, I feel like just over the 4 years that I've been here, it really makes a difference when you pray for opportunities for God to put you in, to have a good, deep conversation with one of the teens, or for a moment with one of the little kids. But, you know, if I pray for those opportunities to be able to have time and to be able to just branch off and go to a quiet place with one of the teens and talk to them about God, He really gives that to me. And I've found that if you pray for it, it will happen. And also with prayer, like, I feel like this year I've seen a lot just being a leader, because this is my first year to be a leader for this trip, and I feel like I can tell with the young ones on our team that they've really grown, you know, and that they've gotten confidence in prayer, and I can just tell a difference in them spiritually that some of them may not have ever prayed out loud before, and it happened on this trip, and, you know, I've seen a lot of change in them, and it's all through prayer and all through God, so it's really neat.
Any one person that you prayed for and the Lord has just opened the conversation or opened their mind to what you've been teaching and telling them?
Yeah, there's this one girl who's a teenager. She's 13, and her name is Victoria. And I think that she's really mature for her age, and God has really placed her in my life to ask me questions that I might not even know the answers to, but He's given me the opportunity to talk to her about God and talk to her about Jesus' life and heaven and things I never thought my first year I'd ever be able to break doors down to anybody. And God's really put her in my life the last couple of years, and just a little bit at a time. 2 years ago I got to know her, and then last year I got to be able to talk with her just a little briefly. She asked me questions, you know, and so I left my Bible with her. And then this year we got to sit down for a long time and talk a lot about God, and it was really, really neat. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you all.